Hi, Assalamualaikum. So today I will show you on the aggregate planning, and we're going to solve two questions. The first one is from the test 2 July 2020. So these are the questions. We know that this is aggregate planning when we have the forecast, we have month, and also we have the information on the regular production, cost, overtime, and subcon. So for this question, they need us to develop an aggregate planning using combination of regular, overtime, inventory, and subcon. And remember that one of the constraint is no backlog are allowed. So backlog means no hutang on the demand. Okay, so I need to set up the aggregate plan table. So we start for the top part in which we need to have the forecast data here. So these are the months, and then these are the forecast demand. And then I need to total up the demand. Then we need to start to do the output. So the output here, they say that regular time, overtime, and then subcon. Okay, so we need to have this table, and then here we have the output, or the output minus the demand forecast. So let's start with the regular output. So what is the regular output? We can find it in this table, in which 40 per month. So we need to fill up 40 for each month, then total up. Next, for the overtime. Okay, before that we want to look different. So the demand is 350, and then the regular is 280. So we need 70 more. Maybe we need to do in overtime and also subcon. And we fill up the overtime first. So we know the capacity of overtime is 8. So we put 8 across the months, and then we will go into one month at a time and to look at the subcon if we require it or not. So for this January, do we need any subcon? Okay, we need 2 because the output is only 48, the demand is 50, so we need 2 subcon. Okay, so this one total up is 56. Okay, not yet, because sometimes we need to adjust, so we put it outside first. Subcon we need 2 for this month. And then for the next February, we look, do we need any subcon? No, because we already have 48 here and the forecast is 4, so no subcon. And for the March, 48, we have the output and the demand is 55, so we need 3 subcon. And for this one, yes, we need lots of subcon, in which we only have 48. So our demand is 60. So we need to do how many subcon? Maximum is 12. Okay, just nice. Okay, we have 12 here. And for the May, 48, the demand 50. So we need 2. For this one, actually 40 and 40. Do we need any overtime? No, right? Because we have enough regular to fulfill the demand, but maybe we need to eliminate this overtime. But sometimes we have to look at the month July, okay? So tak perlu buat 8. You nak decide buat kosong pun tak boleh, sebab you kena check here dulu. Kalau kat sini we short of 3, okay? We short of 3 sebab 48 and the demand is 51. So we short of 3, so we can make the 3 here, okay, from the overtime, rather than we have subcon. So we can use this overtime, so we can make it earlier. So we can set this is 3 to fulfill the demand here later on. So we decide to have 3, and so we have no subcon for June and July. Okay. Alright, so that's why we need to adjust. If not, we decide not to have overtime because they don't no need. But when we look at July, they needs more. They need 3, but we can ask from the overtime to do it for July. Okay, so we have 3. So then we don't need actually all the 8 times 7. So the new one gonna be 51 only. Okay, 8 and plus 3 and we get 51. And then for subcon, we add up, we got 19. And when we add the subcon and the overtime, we get 70. So it can fulfill the different. Okay, now we're going to do the O minus D. So O, you have to add up all this output and then you minus by demand. Okay, so the first one you get 0 because total up is 50. Second one is you get 4, it's 48 minus 44. For this one you have 51 and then minus 55 you get negative 4. You must put the negative number here. This one is total up 60 minus 60 is 0. This one total up is 50 minus 50 is 0. This one is 43 minus 40 equal to 3. And for this one is 48 minus 51 negative 3. Okay, once we have this one complete, then we can start do the inventory. Okay, let's do the inventory. So we will start with 0. How do I know 0? Because it give the information here 0. So 0 plus 0, 0. Then you bring to next month. 0 plus 4 is 4. Then the next month you open with 4. 4 plus negative 4 is 0. Okay, then you complete all. So you bring the 0 here. 0 plus 0, 0. Okay, and then bring open here 0 plus 0, 0. Okay, this one 0 plus 3, 3, and 3 plus negative 3 is 0. Okay, so you know how to complete the beginning and the end. And then you can do the average. How to do average? You plus begin and end divided by 2. Begin plus end divided by 2. Begin plus end divided by 2. And then you do for all of the column. Okay, so once you have this ready, then you can start do the cost. Okay, the cost, we start with the first one, the regular. So now we're going to deal with regular row here. So how to get, before we start, we need to know what are the costs for each piece. Okay, for regular here 80 ringgit, overtime cost is 120, subcon cost is 140, and the holding cost or inventory cost is 10. So we already put all the costs. Okay, now we can start to calculate. Okay, for the first one, it's 40 unit or pieces time 80 ringgit. So I got 3,200. I do for all the months and sum at the end. Okay, the next one is the overtime. So we have 8 times 120, 960. So you do for all. For this one, be careful because we have 3 times 120, we got 360 and sum at the end. Then you start to do the subcon, 140, so 140 times 2, get, okay, you have got 280, and then there's no subcon for February, and for March, have 140 times 3, 420, and do it for all the months, and then you sum up. Then for the inventory is look at the average. So the cost is 10 ringgit. So March there's no cost, and February it's 2 times 10 ringgit is 20. So for March is 20. Okay, there's no for April and May, and then for June is 15, and for July is 15. Okay, so add up at the end. So you need to total up all this column to get 31,250, and later on if you have time you can do the total for each month and to check whether they have the same answer as 31,250. And to answer this question for 20 marks you need to wrap up saying that the total cost is 31,250 ringgit. Okay, so I hope it's clear on the step by step. Okay, next we're going to do this example. Okay, now we have the forecast. So we have the information on the holding cost. Okay, but this time they need us to do the hiring and layoff. There's no subcon. Okay, so we're going to have regular, overtime, okay, hiring and layoff, and also we have the inventory cost, and again the constraint is no backlog allowed, and also we begin with 100 inventory. Okay, these are the capacity of OT in which 50% of normal working hours. Okay, first we need to set up the aggregate table. You need to put all the forecast, demand, total up. Then you're going to start to do the regular. Okay, how to get the regular? So the regular, we get information here in which they said that one DVD need 4 hours. Okay, and one day the working hours is 8. So in one day they can make 2 DVD per worker. So how many worker they have? They have 8 worker and they work 20 days per month. So in 1 month, how many DVD we can get from 8 of the workers? So one day they can make 2 DVD per worker. So we have 20 times 2 unit times 8 workers. So we have 320 units per month. So we have for 6 months. Then we total up at the end. Okay, now we're going to look for the overtime. So overtime is 50% of the regular. So now the regular is 320. So 50% is 160. So only 160 are allowed for OT. So we look month by month. Okay, remember that we begin at inventory 100. Okay, here. So you put 100 here, then we look which month that we need to do overtime. For the first month, 320, and then demand is 400. Do we need to do overtime? No, because don't remember we have 100 at the beginning. So actually we have 420, so demand is 400. Okay, so we do not have to do the overtime. And then go for the next month. Okay, do we need to do overtime? Yes, because we have short here. So we have 160, so we have to push all the 160 starting from August, because starting from August we need to do extra. So 160 we put all the way until December. So we add up with 800. So we want to know how many units left for hiring. Okay, so now we have output is 1920 plus 9000, and then we need to check with the demand. So the demand now is 3650. So what is the difference? The difference is 930 units that we need to do for hiring. Okay, so how many workers that we need? Okay, so first we know that one worker will do 2 units per day. Okay, 2 units per day, and for 1 month we know that one worker can make 40 units. So one worker can make 40 units. Then we will know that how many workers that we need. So we have 930 to fulfill, and we know that one worker can make 40 units. And then we need to know how many months that we can do the hiring. Okay, on the first month, do you need to do hiring? No, because we have enough to cater the demand. Do we need to do hiring for the second month? Also we don't have, because here we have extra 20. Okay, because we need to give 80 here. So 320 plus 160, we have 480, and plus 20 from this extra. So we don't have any requirement to do the hiring. So we can start do hiring September, October, November, December. So we decide to do for 4 months. So in 4 months, when we divide the required unit for hiring, we get 232.5. So we run up to 233. So now we know that one worker can make 40. So how many worker we need for 4 months? So for at least 233 unit per month, we need 6 workers. Okay, we cannot hire 5 because 5 times 40 is 200. So we short of 233. So now we have no choice. So we need to hire 6 workers that can make 40 per month. So in total we have 240 per month. So we put 240 for the 4 months, and remember to put 6 here. So we know that we're going to hire 6. So now we're going to check, do we have enough? Okay, so now we have to do the O minus D. So the output here only 320, and then minus 400, the demand we have negative 80, and this one we need to add up 320 plus 160, and then we minus with 500, we get 20. And for this one we have, when we add up and then we minus 550, we get 170. And for October, 320 plus 160 plus 240 minus 800, we get negative 80. And for this one, we add up these 3 minus 700, we get 20. And for December, we add up all these minus 700, we get 20. Okay, so we're done with this O minus D because we're going to use it for the inventory. So remember, we have 100 for the beginnings. So for the end, 100 plus negative 80, we have 20, and then you have to bring to the next month. Open the month with, begin with 20. 20 plus negative 20 is 0. Bring it to the next month. 0 plus 170, you get 170. Bring it to the next month. And then 170 plus negative 80, you got 90. And then bring to the next month. 90 plus 20, you got 110. Bring to the next month. 110 plus 20, you get 130. Okay, now you have completed the begin and the end, and now you can do the average. So to get the average is 100 plus 20 divided by 2, you got 60. 20 plus 10 divided by 2, you got 10. 0 plus 170 divided by 2, 85. 170 plus 90 divided by 2, 130, and so on. So you have to do for each month. So once you have complete this table, then you can start do the costing. Okay, so make sure this table is correct so that you will have the correct cost. So for cost, we have regular, OT, hire. So when you have hire, you will have hiring fee and also layoff fee. Okay, this is special about hiring. If you have subcon, you don't have these 2 additional row. So for this one, you need to put hire fee and layoff fee because it's given here. Hiring 400 and layoff is 800. So first we need to know how much is the cost for each piece of DVD. So how to calculate? We know that 4 hours is needed to make 1 DVD, and the normal hour labor is RM 8 ringgit per hour. So 4 hours times 8 ringgit equal to 32 ringgit for each DVD. Okay, so since you have this information, then you can calculate, you can put here 32 ringgit per piece. And then for overtime, it gives that the rate is different. For overtime, the rate is 12 ringgit per hour. Okay, the normal is 8 ringgit, so overtime is 12 ringgit. We know that to make 1 DVD is 4 hours, so time with 12 ringgit per hour, you get 48 ringgit. Okay, now you can put 48 ringgit here. And then for hiring, we know that is follow normal time labor, 8 ringgit. So we know that 4 hours per DVD times 8 ringgit. So it will be the same as the regular. So 32 ringgit will be here. Okay, now you need to put 1 row for the hire fee, in which 400. 1 row for layoff fee, in which is 800. And inventory, it's the holding cost is 6 ringgit per DVD. So it's 6 ringgit per piece. Okay, now let's start do the costing. So for the regular, okay, for the regular, 32 ringgit times 320, you get 10,240. So you have to do for all the month and you total up at the end. Okay, for OT is 48 ringgit per piece. So the first month you don't have any OT, so it's going to be 0. For the second month is 48 ringgit times 160, you get 7,680. So you do it for all the months, then you sum up. And then for hire, okay, for hiring, it's 32 ringgit per piece. And then July, August, they have no cost. It's only started in September. So 32 ringgit times 240, you get 7,680. So you do it for the all 4 months. Then you sum up. Okay, now the hire fee. So the hire fee, the hiring is only started in September. So on September, you have 6 workers times 400. So you got 2,400. And then you lay off them or fire them at the month of December. So on December, so the fee is different, it's 800. So 800 times 6 workers, okay, because you have 6, yeah. You need to hire 6 and lay off 6, so you got 4,800. Okay, now you can do the inventory. So inventory, just follow the average. 60 times 6 ringgit, you got 360. 10 pieces times 6 ringgit, you get 60. So you do for all the months and then you sum up. So now you can sum up all the total. It will give you the total cost of 140,790 ringgit. Okay, and you can check by calculating each month cost, and you can check whether they have the same value as the 140,790 ringgit. So I have shown you step by step for 2 examples on aggregate planning. So you have any question, okay, you can let me know. All right, thank you.